That looks great.
Oh,
That looks
yeah.
Can't wait to eat 'em.
Pardon my
I'm
rage.
hungry. I want to eat one now. So we thought that what we would do for you today is show you some of those recipes that they so graciously agreed to share with you guys. Of course, you can eat them at the restaurant. This is a rosy brunch.
Rosy brunch.
This is a rosy brunch to make you smile. Hi, this is Judy Keyes and welcome to Cooking for All Seasons. Just to get started, I just want to give a little bit of a background of where we are and why we're here. There's a beautiful restaurant in Monterey, and I've been going there for about 22 years. It's Rosine's Restaurant in Monterey, and I wanted to bring to you what they've brought to me for all these years, and that's their feeling of being a part of a family. So today, they're bringing to you some of their family recipes to share with you. So to start the show, I'd like to introduce the family. We are missing a few members, but we do have a lot of them here today. And we're at the beautiful home of Susan and Jimmy Kokassi. And welcome to my show, and thank you so much for having us here today.
Well, thanks, Judy.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having
Judy.
us.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Oh,
Believe me, it's
thank
very
you.
exciting.
Yeah, this is like so cool. I'm
Yeah.
just having so much
Like-
fun.
As my son would say.
Yep, we're here. We're doing it. Okay, we're going to start off. We've got Annette. Hello. And we've got Renee.
Hi.
And then we've got Rosine.
Hello.
And we've got Jim Sr. And this is the family. We are missing a few. We're missing Stephen, right? But he's out of town right now. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank you, Rosine, for creating a beautiful restaurant.
Thank you.
And for sharing your recipes with us and allowing us to, provide the public with your wonderful recipes. And
pleasure.
cooking with us, and Jimmy's cooking with us, and Renee's going to be cooking with us. And thank you, Jim, for providing all your family for us to share in this great fun. So today we are creating a rosy brunch. That's what we're calling it. So
All right.
let's get started. Okay. First thing up, thank you guys. All right, cooks. We got all our cooks in order here. Okay.
First up, Judy, we're going to start off with breakfast potato skins.
Rosie.
The way that works, if you have leftover
put you
baked
over
potatoes or if you bake a few potatoes off, you can scoop them out and you have little half shells. About an hour in the oven. What I'd like to do is scoop them out, brush them with a little oil, olive oil preferably, pop them in the oven, and when they come out, you'll have crisp little boats, potato boats. It takes about half hour, 30 minutes. The oil saturates and they get nice and crispy. All right, so next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab my skillet right over there.
Skillet.
Excuse me while I'm grabbing this skillet. Thank
Okay.
you, Judy. Let's put that on the flame here. Get
So
that
what do
on
we
the-
have in here? We have some butter.
We have butter. And we're gonna
Okay.
let that butter melt. And while the butter's melting, I toss in some bacon. A lot of bacon.
So Jimmy, this was sort of like a recipe that you've sort of created just recently.
Yeah,
huh?
I do this at times. Every Sunday at the restaurant, I create brunch specials, and this was one of them I had a while back, and
yeah.
it was a hit with the crowd. It was a hit.
I imagine this would be really a hit with the kids too.
Kids, adults.
Adults.
You mentioned breakfast potato skins, and people just,
Yeah.
their mouth starts to water. So then I toss in some green onions, and let that just melt down and crispen up a little bit. You can hear that sizzling.
Can you guys hear that?
We
This is
have
looking good.
12 potato skins here. So the way works, you count 1 egg per skin. So we have 12 eggs in here. While this is cooking up, just whip up your eggs.
Okay, so the thing about this is that if you baked potatoes the night before and you baked too many, technically you could sort of use those leftover baked potatoes.
Exactly.
And just scoop them out, and you could actually put some of that potato back in.
You could.
You could fry it back up in the pan and sort of, put it back in there.
Smell
that
aroma?
bacon.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't miss with bacon.
And the green onions gives it a nice little flavor in there. So you have that cooking up, sizzling away. Pop in your eggs.
We've got plenty of time here.
There we go.
Oh.
Like I said, 1 egg per skin, and just cook that up. Just give it a little
That's
stir.
looking good. So, what I like about this is that, you could use any kind of filling. What do you think?
I think you can.
Yeah.
You
Do you
know,
put any pepper in there, Jim?
Grab it. Grab some pep in the drawer, bro.
you could put some cheese. Well, we're going to put cheese in it, but you know what
Okay.
else you could
Yeah.
put in it? Instead of bacon, you could put sausage.
Okay, there you
you
go.
could put, you could put salmon.
Salmon, crab.
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 And if they were vegetarian, you could just put, like maybe vegetables or
Roasted
something.
red peppers would be
Roasted
delicious.
peppers,
Yummy.
or maybe some vegetables that you had left over from the night before that you'd roasted on the barbecue or something like that. That would be really good.
It's almost like a quiche inside.
Yeah,
the potato
yeah.
skin.
And I know what he's going to put in here. He's going to put in some secret sauce. Well, it's not going to be a secret because he's going to put in some what?
Hollandaise. Judy loves our hollandaise.
I think they make fabulous hollandaise. So, but we're not gonna show you exactly how to make the hollandaise sauce, but we're gonna give you a recipe on how to make hollandaise
Nice and
sauce.
creamy.
Yes. Yes.
Look at those eggs; they're looking good.
Delish.
You don't actually have to whip the eggs up. You could crack them in here, do it on the side. Some people prefer the whites cooked all the way, but if it doesn't bother you, just crack them in the pan.
Another thing is you're gonna put these back into the oven, so I mean the eggs don't have to be like cooked to the
Yes, they don't have
hill.
to dry out.
I mean, they don't
Exactly.
have to be dried out.
No, you
because-
want them moist. That's
Yeah, because otherwise, I like my eggs a little lightly cooked. Some people like
On
them.
the
No, I
soft
like
side.
them moist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Some people just like their eggs cooked till they're like dried
No.
out.
So this is a good consistency right here,
right.
nice and moist. All right, now I'm gonna grab a spoon and we're gonna stuff each one. So then we just give a little scoop here.
See, Judy, my son does.
that was easy.
Are you gonna put? Now you're gonna put. Oh, okay. You're
No,
gonna
no.
put some hollandaise in there.
Oh, Judy, you caught me. You caught me. Can you do
See,
it with
he
or
was
without?
trying to get away without putting that hollandaise in there.
No, you
Just a
can't do
little sauce.
Actually, putting it on the bottom, or actually after it's already cooked, you could actually
Either
put it
way.
on the top.
On the side too, maybe.
or on the side,
Exactly.
because not everybody likes.
Hollandaise.
And then you just top
It's
each
rich.
one
It's
with.
rich.
It's very rich.
Very
Top each one with a little jack and cheddar cheese.
Ooh, yummy.
Ooh.
And these are delicious.
That's
So
gonna
now,
go.
okay, so then you're gonna serve it. I'm looking over here. What are you gonna serve it with?
Well, you can garnish it with a little more chopped bacon and green onion, but we serve it with salsa and sour cream on the side, so you have it all there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you have a compact little meal here.
Nice.
You have
Oh, that's,
everything.
and you know something that it not only is it a compact meal, but it's also great for kids.
It is great
Oh,
for kids.
yeah, they love it. A customer came in and said that was one of the best. You're forgetting the hollandaise.
I am.
That
forgetting-
was the
I'm
best
just gonna
that
do
he's
this.
ever had. And he
You know,
loved
but
it.
kids could also make this.
Absolutely.
You know, this is sort of a kind of a kid-friendly. You know, if
It
you
really
allow
is.
your kids
You know
to
what would be
scramble the
nice?
eggs.
What's that, Rob?
Jimmy, a little dried parsley for color.
Yeah, you could do that.
You could do actually anything, really.
Anything you want. You be creative. Use your imagination, and it's nice putting it on a parchment
Can you
paper.
tell these guys cook? Can you tell it? A little dry parsley.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
they're always, it's always this, you know, so you know what that tells you? That tells you for you guys out there, do what tastes good to you. You could use some fresh herbs from your garden in your eggs.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
Oh,
you
that
could
would be
do,
delicious.
You know, you could do like a lot of different things. You know, I can see that this is definitely going to be a hit with people. But you could put some fresh herbs
It would
in
be
your eggs,
wonderful.
or over the top. Or mixed in with the cheese or
Yes.
something like that.
You could
know?
do, you could
You
do
could do it.
absolutely
It's endless
anything.
almost.
It's endless. As long as you're creative, doesn't matter.
That looks great.
Oh,
That looks
yeah.
yummy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to eat
Alrighty.
'em.
Pardon my
I'm
rage.
hungry. I want to eat one now. So now that we're gonna put these in the oven.
And top them with cheese. There we go. Want to help out, Renee?
Oh, sure.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so these are going to go in the oven, and then when you serve them, then you're going to, you can put different condiments out,
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
just,
There
like I said, if you're a vegetarian or something like that, you could
Perfect.
put,
You don't have to use the bacon.
like broccoli.
Great.
And,
Veggies.
You know,
Yes.
and
Vegetables.
all kinds of different things. So,
There we go. And those go in the oven for about 15 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, not 15 minutes. Just the cheese is melted because they're already warm.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, Judy.
Okay, so it's going to be there for you guys on the website. So we're going to be right back, and let's see. Oh, I'm showing you my directions. So what are we coming up next? We got that. We got
Chili egg puff.
we got a chili egg puff coming up. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hi, and here we are back again, and you know what we're going to be fixing, don't you? We're going to be fixing one of the most popular dishes at Rosine's, and this is a dish that you, Rosine, created, and the
Yes.
name of it is...
Chili egg puff.
Okay, we start the chili egg puff with 16 eggs.
So wait a minute, Rosine, so you were saying
Yes.
you created this back in...
Yes.
in
the original restaurant.
Okay.
And I was, like I said, working
You
full
just add it
time.
and then tell 'em what
And
you
my
added.
son was on the
Oh, my
line
God.
at the time. And I was in the back doing all my little things and came up with this. I really can't remember where I got the recipe, but from there I add a little bit more. You know how you do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you improvise.
It's a work in progress.
Absolutely.
And I know that at that restaurant, Renee was actually working, because I've talked to
yeah.
her about it, because you were
Oh,
working
yes.
on the line.
I was the first line cook that we ever had when we first opened the restaurant. And I lasted about a month. And the restaurant started getting so busy that one day they had to rush me to the hospital because my head I thought was going to explode because I could not handle the pressure and the speed and pace of Rosine's. That's when Jimmy stepped in, and he's been
I took over.
flourishing
The
and cooking ever
the
since.
first day we opened, they told me this story how we opened the doors, massive crowds. My mother and my sister went in the walk-in and cried.
She screamed.
She screamed and they cried.
And they cried,
I
and then
heard that
I
story.
was rushed to the hospital. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Should
was
that be a blessing on all restaurants?
Yeah,
that
it
they
was
should
fun.
have that kind
To
of,
tell you the
know.
truth,
Success,
Judy,
it was-
speaking of that, it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
For all these years, since 1980, it's truly been a blessing, and we're so thankful.
Yeah.
You know,
So let's see, Jimmy, you started off with how many eggs here?
16 eggs, 2/3 cups of flour,
Okay.
1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and you just blend it. And then with a rubber spatula, scrape the sides, and make sure you whip it
Can
well.
you see that? Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Does it get lumpy at this point, Jimmy? I always have trouble mixing it, so
It
it's
does
not.
get a little
You know, you
lumpy.
just have to
Keep going.
really, really
You
beat
just
it,
really
right?
have to beat it. Beat it well.
Yeah.
We're almost there, actually.
Absolutely.
We're almost
So
there.
Yeah.
this is restaurant size?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that you could, I mean, I don't have this size, so, you know.
But it works. And then once you get a nice smooth texture, you add 2 cups of cottage cheese.
Okay, now there are people that don't like cottage cheese, but I'm telling you, you're not going to know that this
No,
has
you don't
cottage
even
you
taste
won't-
that
So
it's
taste
don't
cottage cheese.
tell
You don't
people
know. Yeah.
what's in it, like your kids, okay? Because some kids go, I don't like cottage
No, it
cheese.
melts.
So
You don't even
say
know it's
anything to
there.
'em.
Yeah.
Here we have 2 cups of jack, 2 cups of cheddar cheese.
but Judy, I
Lot of
recommend
cheese.
using a good quality cottage cheese.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
like whole
A
milk,
whole-
mom,
whole
not
milk is-
non-fat.
Okay, so does it make a difference if it's large curd or small curd cottage cheese?
Oh, no,
it really doesn't.
not
It
really.
really doesn't.
Okay,
You're gonna
but the
blend it.
full fat, we're
It's a full-
talking,
The full,
fat.
it makes it
we're
tastier.
talking full fat here,
But this is
guys.
low carb, so if you're on a low carb diet, this is something that you could actually eat because it's loaded with protein.
Yes.
So it's actually low caloric and it's very good for you.
It's not low caloric.
Well, not low caloric, but it's protein, so it
We like
metabolizes
to
well.
think it's
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Then we-
Comparatively.
Then we have 26-ounce can of chopped green chilies.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot of green chilies.
spicy and
Then
good.
you just blend it. Just blend it well.
It's really easy, huh?
Oh, it's
not,
very
it's not
simple.
hard at all.
So could you make this, okay, so this is brunch, but could you make this like the night before and put it in the refrigerator?
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
And, you know, sort of make it easy for
Yes.
yourself Would you suggest that they take it out and bring it to room temperature the next morning, or is it okay to just put it in cold? Does it make a difference?
I don't know about that because we always made ours from scratch, like
And then
he's
just
doing,
put it right in.
into the oven.
Oh, okay.
Out of the oven, it's delicious, right out of the oven.
Fresh.
But with this basic recipe, it's endless what you could add.
Oh yeah, you could.
You
This
could-
is another thing. Hey, we could put the bacon stuff in
Sausage,
there.
You
shrimp,
can-
crab,
Sausages.
crabs.
Oh, I've actually, for the
prosciutto.
restaurant, we've used shrimp. We've used crab,
Ooh.
chicken
Nice.
apple sausage, put in a Cuisinart, chopped it up, and
Oh, that's
used that for a
delicious.
special. It's very
Delicious.
good. And then lastly, with the rubber spatula, you just
The
fold
diet butter.
the
Yeah,
diet
the
butter.
non-caloric
Diet
butter.
half cup
The more the
of
better.
melted butter, half cup. And you just stir it and just blend it. Just
Yeah.
like so.
When I come into town, because I live out of town now, this is what I order all the time for breakfast. I always order the chili egg puff. It's absolutely delicious. Very satisfying,
It's
hearty, and it's
Susan's
just
favorite too.
Not
Yeah.
only this, but this is something that you could eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Good
oh, yes.
vegetarian.
Absolutely.
A good vegetarian.
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
with the salad, you could just put this with a nice leafy salad. You know, for
delicious.
like,
For a lot, like similar to a quiche.
Without a crust.
the
Right.
crust.
Without a
Without the
crust.
well, there's your diet.
Yeah, there you go.
And after it's baked, Judy, you could either we put hollandaise or we put the salsa,
We're gonna make the
fresh
sauce.
I'm gonna make
salsa.
some more hollandaise.
So what I've done, I sprayed the 9x13 pan with, you can use pan cooking spray, or if you want, you could oil it, but pan's the easiest. And then just pour it right in,
just like that.
just like that. And you bake it for about an hour. What you can do, this is optional, you can put jalapeno peppers on top to give it a little extra.
A little extra.
We're going for the jalapenos
Yeah, a
today.
little extra
I think
zip.
we're
Oh,
going
yeah.
for the jalapenos.
Yeah,
It
it's really
adds-
good with the jalapenos. And I don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
spicy
Some heat
food, but
and some spice.
it's
And that's
good.
it.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll pop this in the oven and we'll start in on the sauce.
Okay, giving it to the hand.
Yeah. For the sauce, you can use one of your existing bowls. We add our hollandaise, which is very good. And then salsa. I like room temperature salsa because if it's cold, it'll make the butter get hard and it's hard to stir. So room temperature salsa. We make ours from scratch. And you make sure you drain all the water out well.
So there again, depending on what your heat level is.
Yes.
Because the hollandaise is, you don't have to use the hollandaise, but it does really create
You
an
could-
exquisite sauce.
Exactly.
But you could make it hot. You
Well,
could make it really.
this
oh.
is the temperature right here. We add pepper plant to it.
That's
so if you
good.
want it,
That's really
this is
good.
delicious. So, but if you want it really spicy, just add more sauce. We just put a little in, about a tablespoon.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very good. I like
I'm sure.
I like it spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you,
Spicy.
and you just stir it. If you want to stay away from
So
the
that's
hollandaise, you can
delicious.
just use regular salsa with it, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
as good.
Nah, we're
But
gonna.
that, we're gonna go all the
We're
way.
going full bore today.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
We're going the whole thing.
And that's it. That's
That's
the
it.
salsa hollandaise.
Oh,
Yum.
okay. So it takes what? About an hour
About
to
an
bake?
hour.
So, okay, we're going to clean this up, and next up is Renee, and she's going to do us a salmon en croûte, which is actually a salmon and puff pastry. So,
that's good.
that's one of her designs. So we're going to be right back. We're going to clean this up, and we'll be right back with you guys. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Will
We're
do.
there. Hi, and welcome back to Cooking for All Seasons. And now we have Renee. And Renee's going to make us a salmon en croûte, which means a salmon in puff pastry, or a salmon enveloped in an envelope of really
Lusciousness.
lusciousness.
Fluffy puff pastry.
Puff pastry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's actually very easy to make. It looks real fancy when it's done. It's a really easy dish to prepare. I used to make this all the time when I was first married with my husband. When we had guests over, this is what I always made, and I perfected the recipe, and it was always delicious, and I always got great raves on this particular recipe. So what you want to do is you want to take a salmon fillet, and the fillet has bones that runs right along here. So being that I am married to a commercial fisherman, he taught me that you could actually use pliers to remove all the bones from the fillet if you want to. Just make sure they're real clean. You can also use tweezers to remove the bones. Make sure there's no bones when you start. And then I like to dry the filet too, because when it's baking, water will be released from the salmon and it might cause it to be too soggy. So dry this, pat dry this with Scott towels.
Okay.
Remove the bones. And then you want to trim it so it fits nicely in the puff pastry. And I have it here all rolled out.
Okay, so this is puff. Now, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
This is just puff pastry that we've purchased at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
Pepperidge
this is
Farms.
not, commercial
No,
type.
not
This
at
is just
all.
your everyday
Yes.
puff pastry.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're trimming off that
belly. This is the belly of the salmon.
Well, and that is really good. So keep this.
Right.
This is don't
Okay, so
throw
it's-
this away.
Yeah.
And then we're going to trim
I'm
off
going to trim
enough.
this.
What do you think, Roseanne?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
you-
so
would
that
you-
it fits in the puff
make it-
pastry, so
make
it's
it
nice,
even.
so it's
Okay.
easier to roll.
And what we did was
See, this was longer. Go ahead, Jude.
we turned over the end so that we got a
Even
more
surface.
even, thickness.
Right,
Yes.
so it bakes
Okay.
nicely. Okay, so what you want to do is here, I added maybe half a cube of butter. You could add olive oil if you want. There's 2 green parts of a leek. You want to saute that in the butter. And then we added maybe, 3 handfuls of fresh spinach. And you saute that, and then you add a handful of chopped garlic.
Okay, my question is, I know that the spinach releases a lot of,
Water,
Liquid.
It does with the reason.
so you have to cook it long enough
So
to
it
make
evaporates,
sure
so it
that you
evaporates.
okay,
Yeah.
that's like
Okay.
going to be really important, I think.
Right.
Exactly.
That
So
you're
it
going to
should-
make sure
like this.
that you've
Yeah.
cooked it long enough that
Right.
you've released all the liquid, because otherwise
It's gonna be
you're
too
just
soggy,
going to
too
be
moist.
soggy.
Too moist. And then I'm going to scoop it right into the puff pastry, just like this. And then I did add garlic, and you don't want to saute the garlic too long because it has a tendency to get bitter.
Absolutely.
So last minute with the spinach, add the garlic, saute that so it's nice and
Yeah, because burned garlic
it's
is
not
like-
good. It's
Very
just
bitter.
bitter.
Salt
it
and
could
pepper
ruin a
also.
dish.
Yeah, it's seasoned
Yeah.
with
And
the
lots of salt and pepper.
kosher salt.
Yes, and I find
Fresh
that
black pepper.
yes.
And also on
Yes.
the fish. Also on
When
the
you
fish.
put it in the
Yes.
okay. Yeah, and then I find too when you make this, sometimes the salmon releases liquid, and that has a tendency to make this mixture a little bland.
Yes.
So you have to make sure this is really flavorful. Mm-hmm. So then when
That's
it
what it
cooks,
is.
you have a nice explosion of different flavors when you break into the
So what you used in here was leeks,
yes.
green onions,
And spinach.
and spinach.
And garlic after.
And garlic.
garlic.
Could you add, I don't want to change your recipe, but me, I always got to have
Yeah.
something
Sure, why
going
not?
on. How about some shallots? Could you
Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Very,
good.
very
good.
That would be
Shallots?
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I think that would
Because
be
I'm like a real shallot.
I love
Yeah.
shallots.
I do
like
too.
I
shallots.
love
I do-
it.
I use it
I
a
do
lot.
too, Judy. I like
Okay.
shallots very much.
And also
Okay.
you could add little hollandaise. When
You
we make
can.
it, you can add hollandaise on top of that.
Would you put the
your fish-
hollandaise in
Right there.
now at this
Yeah.
point? Okay.
Yeah.
So now, I see you have, is that flour over there?
This is flour.
Okay, do you put any flour in that so that it absorbs any of the
No,
moisture?
this
So-
flour I just use, so I just put a little bit on the parchment. You can
Okay.
actually use foil if you don't have parchment. It's the same.
Okay, so that's what I want to
thing.
ask you. So you use the flour to roll out
Right,
Your
my puff
pastry.
pastry.
your puff pastry. That's really important because
Yes.
otherwise
It'll stick.
it'll.
Make a mess.
Oh yeah,
So
you can't get
so
it
you add
up.
a little bit
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
of flour.
Okay,
makes
so
it
that's
easier.
what the flour. I wasn't
Yes.
sure. I wasn't sure if the flour was put on to absorb, and then, but
I
then I
understand.
thought it would be
No.
kind of sticky.
Sticky,
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry. We're
No,
going
that's
on.
okay.
I have these questions.
That's okay. It's good to know, so
Absolutely.
you know that the flour is underneath. And this is also 2 sheets of puff pastry that I rolled together, so it looks like one big puff.
Okay.
So it's actually the whole package, which comes in 2 sheets, and I unrolled them and then I rolled them together. Okay. Now this is going to be the top of the puff pastry, so I'm going to flip this over, so it's like
Move the boards
this.
for you.
Okay.
There you go. Got that, Judy? There you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to fold this in like this. And if the fillet is a little large, you can kind of work with the puff pastry. It's almost like Play-Doh. It has a little give. You can stretch it. You could pull it. You could do what you need to do to make it
And
work.
actually, even if you got it to this point, you could trim it again.
You could.
It's
The
not,
salmon,
it's
you
not
mean?
like
You
the
could.
end
You
of the
could.
world.
That's very
You
true.
gotta,
It's versatile.
You
Renee,
got,
put some
yeah,
salt and
you gotta
pepper on
kind
it.
of work it.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper, fresh ground pepper,
Like little salt too.
please. And this just makes sure that all the flavors.
And this is kosher salt.
Yeah, just like that. Not too much.
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay. And then let's see, I'm just going to roll this up. I made it last week and I actually ended up having too much puff pastry and I just wrapped it like a package.
Oh.
And that was fine too, like wrapping a little present. And that was easy and it was nice
Could
and
you do? I know. See, I got
No,
once
that's what-
again. I have
what's
to
that,
ask a
Jude?
question. could you do individual?
Yes.
Yes.
Pieces?
We
And-
did
and-
that.
Yes.
We did that at the
would be kinda
restaurant.
Cool.
Very,
Yeah, it
very
is.
nice.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so you always have to ask these
Yeah.
questions. So, like, if you only had, maybe you only have 2 people
What
in
do you
your
think?
family, and
Looks
you
good.
wanted to you wanted to make this for a special occasion or
Very
something
nice.
like that, for dinner or something.
Very nice.
You
There you
could
go.
actually
As I fold it over.
use like one
Egg white.
piece of puff pastry,
Pastry.
and then just take 2 separate
Slices of salmon.
slices
And
of
just
salmon.
individual, very
Individual.
nice. Sure,
you
you
know,
could do that.
so
Makes
you
a
could
nice
do that.
presentation too.
Yes. Now this is egg white. I'm just putting it.
Egg
it's
wash.
just a egg wash,
Egg wash.
which is egg white and water.
It's just in a whole egg and a tablespoon of water.
Well, I took the yolk out, Mom.
Oh, you did?
Yes. So it's egg white.
That's news to me.
Well, I like to use just the egg
These
white.
are the cooks.
So it's
I'm
just
I'm
the egg
just
white.
here today.
And
I'm just
I'm just
here
following my
today.
daughter's lead.
well, it's my mother's recipe, so I'm doing
No,
what she
I'm just
taught
following
me.
her
So,
lead.
and then you just
That's
wrap
okay.
it just like this.
This is what a family
Just like
yeah.
so.
is. This is how
Yeah.
you cook, you know?
I'm
I've
smelling the
worked
egg
with
puff
them.
in the oven. I smell the egg puff. Sue, do you smell it?
Ooh.
Doesn't that smell delicious?
Cooking in,
Yes.
we're cooking in here.
Okay, so
Ooh,
that's the bottom.
great.
Okay, so we're
Now,
gonna.
do you need a little more egg to seal that?
No.
No, you're fine.
Because
Okay.
this is
Okay,
the
so
bottom.
we're gonna
we
put a
could
piece-
spray that. Well, you
spray
know
the
what?
pan.
Let's
Yeah.
we could spray it or we could do parchment. Whatever's easier.
Well, we got that piece of parchment, so
There you
Want
go.
to use the parchment? Okay.
Yeah.
This right here is just
that's
extra puff pastry that I managed to save, and I just rolled it out. And I'll show you what we're gonna do with this.
So do you want me to spray? You want me to
No,
spray this
no,
too?
that's
so
okay.
that's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So then we just take the cookie sheet.
Okay,
just
this
like
is the flip.
Yeah, this is the flip. You just
Excuse me, I'll
pick it
get
up
rid of
just like
this. Oh, okay.
this. Okay, off to the side, because we're going to just gently roll this over onto the. Well, actually,
Okay,
look
well,
at that.
I'll
We're
use
just
this
going to
one
do it like that. We're going to just do this, and we're going to tuck this under just like that. Okay, so we actually don't even have to take it off of the parchment paper. So it's just like that. Okay.
Perfect.
Oh,
And then you
that's
can just
cool.
kind of, just squish it together
Isn't
so
that
it's
pretty?
uniform.
That
This
looks
is
very
Well, that's
nice.
the top. Now the best part, my favorite part, is doing this. This is where you could be creative, and this is where
the
you guys really like.
decoration part.
Need flour?
Well, it's so easy. I will in a sec. So what you do is you take your puff pastry scraps, you roll them out, and then you just can play. This is just a little strip of puff pastry that I'm going to cut that's going to resemble a branch or a vine. And you just take the egg white and you just brush it right onto the puff pastry. And it's cool because
She's
it
so
looks like...
creative. Did she get all this creative?
I
and
know,
where did
she's
she-
I
very
did.
creative.
No, Mom,
She
I
does
think I
numerous
did.
Very
things.
creative.
Very
Well, I
creative.
like to paint.
Along with my son, who does all these beautiful brunch recipes.
Yeah, he does. the
Oh,
restaurant.
really?
Yeah. And you could just, it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't.
Because this puffs
Yeah,
up, so
it
this
puffs
is going to
up.
sort of stand up away from.
Yes, and it
You know?
really adds a nice touch. And then you could just dip these in the egg wash.
You making leaves?
And then these are just little leaves. You could just cut them and you just put them right on the
Well,
branch.
that would be kind of fun, if you
So-
did this and your kids could kind of,
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
That's
they
so,
could.
it's so easy though.
Yeah.
It's really easy and it looks really pretty when it's done. It's so simple. And then you could actually score the leaves so the leaves look
Do you
like they
need
have
to-
veins.
Do you need to vent the puff pastry so
No.
the steam? No, it doesn't create
No.
steam. Okay.
No. But that's not a bad idea, though, now that
You
you
need
mention
to do
it, though,
some on
too.
this side, Renee.
Yes, Mother. Yes, Rosine. We call Mom Rosine at work. We don't call her Mom because we're in the restaurant and we call her Mom. She doesn't answer us. But when we call her Rosine,
Well, I'm
she answers us.
concentrating.
That's cute.
I'm concentrating.
Trade.
Yeah.
That's an old trick.
An old trick.
Right, Rosine, calling her Rosine, Rosine. And then people would say, you call your mom Rosine?
It's
'cause
an
we work with our
adventure. It's
mom."
been an
It's
adventure.
been fun.
It
Just
sure
like
has.
that.
And my son's still continuing with the adventure, along with
Yeah.
my daughter Annette.
Yeah.
I just, I really like this. I think this is and actually this is a very, it's an elegant looking.
Very elegant.
Breakfast. Actually, breakfast, brunch type
Brunch.
entree. It could be a beautiful lunch entree, a little salad, or some rice pilaf or something with this would be really good, or a dinner. And it's not really an overly expensive,
Oh, no.
meal to make for your family. And it would this. How many? So I'm thinking 1, 2.
About 8?
I would say this would serve at least 8 people.
Yeah.
I think so too.
You know, 'cause
nice
it's
servings.
rich.
Yeah, yeah.
Some nice servings, you know.
And the presentation is so
Really
nice
good.
also.
It's very pretty.
When you have your a buffet, if you have a buffet line
Yeah,
going on,
nice.
it's a
Put it on a nice
nice
board,
addition.
like a nice board. It looks pretty. Yeah.
That looks great, Renee.
Yeah,
She's
easy.
so
It's
talented.
easy, but this is easy. I do this when I make pies too. You could also use cookie cutters. When I make my pumpkin pies, I roll out the extra dough and I get like a really pretty cookie cutter, and I'll make the maple leaf and I'll put it on top of the pumpkin pies. And it's really cute.
She's very creative,
Yeah.
Judy. Always has been.
I like to create. I take after you,
So is
Mom.
that the vein in the leaf you're making
Yeah,
right
I'm
now?
just making like my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
you
doesn't
can
miss a
score
beat.
it.
I really
And you
have to
just
say
score
this
it, you
is.
just
I mean,
score
this is
it.
really neat that that you guys are sharing the recipes from.
Oh, it's our
from
pleasure.
the restaurant
Judy,
It's our pleasure.
with the public, because I know that these are things that they're going to be able to create. So then I
That's
just
it.
want to make
Okay.
sure that we tell you the chili cheese puff, or the
chili egg puff.
the chili egg puff that we created. We put in the oven at 350. I just want to make sure that you know that. And then what is this one going to go in the
This
oven
is at 350 also. That one
Okay.
smells like it's cooking. Really? It's okay.
And then
Yeah.
this bakes for how long?
This is about an hour as well. So this is 350 preheated oven for 1 hour.
Okay, okay.
So, and you could watch it, check it, I would say 30 minutes into baking. And if it's browning too rapidly, just put a tent of aluminum foil over it
that's
so
the
it doesn't
best.
brown.
Because you want to make sure that the salmon is
Right.
getting cooked
Absolutely.
underneath,
Exactly.
you know.
That's important.
Right. And
Yeah.
then when you take it out of the oven, let it set for about 5 minutes before you actually cut it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let it rest a little bit.
And so you just brush it with the egg white to give it a gloss,
Oh, I spilled that.
to give it a little sheen at the
Well,
end.
this helps it to brown nicely.
It does.
And it gives it a nice golden color, which is really nice. So yeah, I like to do this. And
That
that's
looks
the
great.
last touch. That's it.
Next is stop the oven.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
You should show your
Okay.
viewers. Give
Now.
that a turn.
Okay.
Okay, what's up
Okay.
next? Ooh, this is
Okay.
beautiful.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Renee.
You're
welcome,
You did a
Judy.
beautiful job.
You did a good
Okay,
job.
and we get to eat. No, I'm sorry.
No, we are going to eat.
We're going to eat this
Yes,
one
we are.
too.
Yeah.
So we're going to have this put in the oven. And our next up is that Rosina and I are going to make what do we kind of call it?
At Castroville,
A
chicken Castroville, it's a saute.
It's a chicken casserole saute
yummy.
over pasta.
Yum.
Okay,
Yes.
and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. Okay, this is, what are we making here? We're just making all this stuff.
Chicken Castroville
Chicken casserole. Okay.
over pasta.
Over pasta. So actually what we're going to show you is we're going to show you what we're going to put in it, and then when we show you the buffet table, it'll actually be over the pasta. Because we've got a lot of things, we've got a couple more things we want to show you, so we want to get everything in. So first goes in
Some onion.
some onion. Okay, we're using some
Green onion, chopped
green onions or whatever.
White onions if
white
you
onions,
choose.
yellow onions,
And
whatever.
some mushrooms.
And then some shrooms. Okay. More?
Yeah, put them all.
Yeah, them all.
Well,
Yeah.
put them all.
Big portions.
I
We
love
like big
mushrooms.
portions. We like
Okay,
to
so
eat.
let's turn the heat up. So now, who created this recipe?
Didn't you, Jimmy?
This was, yes, back in the 80s when we first opened. This was one of our signature dinner entrees, chicken casserole.
And it's still a
And
favorite.
it's still a favorite.
We do it, it's on our menu, we do it nightly.
The only difference from this recipe we're going to show you is in the restaurant we add salsa to this.
Oh,
And
okay.
it gives it a little kick, but since we're having the pasta, we're going to go with more of the marinated artichoke flavor. from
Okay,
the
so
is that?
and you could actually make this sauce, and what you guys do is put it over like a chicken
chicken breast.
over a chicken breast.
Yes.
But today we thought that we would put it over some pasta. The other thing is, now should we put these in right now?
Yeah, I would.
And these are
Yes.
marinated.
Marinated quartered artichoke hearts.
Okay, now I noticed that there's some olive oil down
That's
the bottom.
fine.
And we started with butter, but you could actually put
could.
butter and olive oil or whatever. So, okay, so
All of them. There
this
you
is
go.
everything.
Yeah.
And these are marinated, so that does make a difference because marinated,
You have that
Ooh.
flavor.
Gives it more
Hear that
flavor.
it's
sizzle?
going to have that sizzle and it's going to have that flavor going on. Oh, I really like this. So today we actually have the chicken that's already cooked. Okay.
Yes.
And what we decided, or what we thought, was that if you had leftover chicken or something like that from the night before,
Absolutely.
or whatever, or if you can use raw chicken, you probably want to start it off first.
Exactly.
And then add.
And get it cooked, and then start
add the
adding, then add the vegetables. And of course, I've got to change up everything. If you're a vegetarian, you could leave the chicken out, and you could actually add in another vegetable.
Any vegetable,
Anything,
actually.
So,
At this point, Judy, I would add the garlic.
oh, okay. So, I'm giving lessons.
Yeah.
I'm having lessons. So, too much?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
A little more.
Goes a little bit more.
That'll do
there she
ya.
Oh, I saw that, Judy. I saw that, Judy. I did. And once you get that sauteed, Judy, that looks great. A little wine.
Ooh, there it is.
Oh,
A little
wine?
Little white
Okay.
wine. Little white wine
Little
is
dab
fine.
will do you, Judy.
Is that enough?
That's perfect.
You sure?
Easily.
A little
Yeah.
more. Why
Oh,
not?
okay.
Judy's cooking today. We'll have the wine. There we go.
So, but since we're going to add the chicken that's already cooked, should we wait a while to
Yes.
let this cook down?
Let that reduce just a little bit.
Okay. So we got this up high enough.
Get a nice little boil there.
Yeah.
But this, I know. I'm not going to
It
even
smells really
talk about
good.
the smell-o-vision thing
smells
because
good.
that's not happening.
I know.
Now, what about salt and pepper? Do we need some pepper or something in here?
Kosher
Here's your
salt.
salt. Here's your kosher.
Okay. Little kosher
And
salt.
this is when, if you wanted to use the salsa, you would add it at this point,
Oh, okay.
and you would let it reduce down with the wine.
So, in your salsa, what kind of things do you put in your salsa?
Our salsa, just raw tomatoes. We use Roma tomatoes, a pinch of garlic, white onion, and cilantro. And we just blend it all
okay.
together. It's very
Okay.
fresh. We make that fresh daily, actually.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It is. It's very good.
Okay, so now we've got this going. That looks
really delicious.
That really
Yeah,
looks
really,
good,
really looks
you know.
like that.
So then
Yeah,
we
add
can just
your
put in
chicken.
our chicken.
Add your chicken.
That's a lot of chicken, Judy.
I know.
That's a lot.
We have a lot
We
of
have a
people.
lot of people that
We
are
have
A lot of
hungry.
people to feed.
Yum.
Well, I mean, this is okay. This once again is a very reasonable meal for a family. How many people do you think
Party.
this is going to serve?
A lot.
A lot.
This
But
is
how many
gonna-
pounds of
8 to
pasta?
10
How many
at
pounds of
least.
pasta?
Oh.
Just
Well,
one?
Oh, no, we have 4 pounds. This is over 4 pounds
that's
of
enough for
pasta,
4
so
pounds.
we have
Okay.
Ooh.
That's not, well, yeah. I
That's
don't think
a-
we need 4 pounds.
No, I don't think so.
But that is a number of 4 pounds,
think-
though. 'cause
I
that's
think
a
a
lot.
good for a family. This would definitely feed a family or a group of people, say 6 to 8 people.
6 to 8.
as a
Yeah.
main course.
Yes.
Okay.
And then as you let this cook, let it reduce down. Then we'll add. You can add Alfredo or heavy cream. Heavy
Yeah.
cream.
Oh, okay. So we have
Alfredo or heavy cream.
we have some Alfredo sauce, and yes, we are going to include a recipe for some Alfredo sauce that you can add into this. But okay, so what's the thing? We're going to let this cook for a while,
Just
and
let it
then we're
reduce.
going to add the Alfredo sauce before we put it over the pasta,
Yes.
or do we cook the Alfredo?
No. We put the. I'm sorry, Judy. We put the Alfredo sauce in now.
Okay.
Wait, excuse me.
You know what though? Actually, instead of using Alfredo,
I-
let's use the manufacturing cream.
Yeah, I think
We'll do manufacturing.
Oh,
cream.
okay.
just like it.
So we're just going to put some cream.
No, the heavy manufacturing cream.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So most people can't get a hold of that. So if they couldn't get, they could just use heavy cream.
Yes, heavy cream in the grocery
Okay.
store.
But there are stores that, and I didn't even know about this. Heavy. It's called manufacturing cream, and I'm going to tell you where they can get it. You can get it like Smart and Final.
Yeah.
Smart
Okay.
Final.
You didn't hear it from me.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Not the sweetened. It's not sweetened. It's
not
just
sweetened,
regular
but it's
cream.
got-
It's heavy. It's got more
It's
butter
heavy.
fat.
It's got, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So are there any other herbs or anything? So could
No.
just this?
Just
Yeah,
plain
just-
salt and pepper.
Okay.
Oh, yummy.
So, this is looking good. Okay, so then we're just going to let this cook down.
Yeah.
And just let it cook down. And that's it.
Smells
Okay.
yummy. That looks really good.
Within 5 minutes, you'll have a great dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to set this aside and let it cook down, and we're going to move on to because Jimmy right here is going to make some French
Ooh,
toast.
my favorite.
Yes.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you for
Yes.
creating this.
Oh, you're
This
quite
is going to be
welcome.
good. So when it's done cooking down, you're going to see it. We're going to put it on the table. It's going to be over some pasta. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. Hi, we're back, and you are never going to believe what's up next. I'm serious. I mean, this is the ultimate of the ultimate French toast. I can't believe it. Well, anyway, okay, we have to do this. As you can see before you, those are what?
Apple fritters.
Apple fritter.
My favorite.
Apple
My
fritter, and
favorite.
you get those at.
Red's Donuts.
Okay, so you can get those at your favorite donut.
Your favorite donut.
Yeah.
Your favorite donut shop. Okay, you take it from here because this is stomach exploding.
It is. Anybody who knows me knows I have a sweet tooth.
We
so-
all do, honey.
This family,
company.
we're terrible.
And
We all.
I do have to mention, if you've ever been in Rosine's,
Yeah.
cakes, okay? Cakes as
He's
high as you can
responsible.
see. Cake baker,
Sweet.
cake baker, cake baker,
Yeah.
okay? Pies,
Pie
cakes,
baker.
okay. So, okay, go on.
We're going to start off with the French toast batter. Renee's going to whip it for you. We
Okay.
have 10 eggs.
Okay.
We have 2 cups of half and half.
Half and half.
Two, or
Okay.
you could use regular milk. If you have milk in the
Okay.
refrigerator, that's fine.
I know, but we're going for all.
Yeah, all of it. We have 2 tablespoons of vanilla,
What's this?
2 cups of sugar.
That's 2 cups?
2 cups.
Okay.
2 cups of sugar. Teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, salt is very important.
Yes,
it
it
really
is.
brings out the
Brings out
flavor,
the
flavor.
with the sugar and the salt combo.
And cinnamon to your liking. I'm going to put in, I like a lot of cinnamon, so I'm going to put in about 3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Just eyeball that there.
Have you
Okay.
ever thought about putting nutmeg in?
Yeah, you
Just a
put
question,
nutmeg.
just a
usually-
question.
In the restaurant, we do put a pinch of nutmeg.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do. But with the apple fritter, I just like the cinnamon.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these fat apple fritters here. These.
We already
Beautiful.
sampled one, so they're
Yeah,
delicious.
they're delicious. We're going to cut one in half. There we go.
And I mean, you know,
Oh,
what's
my
kind of cool
goodness.
about this, when you think about this, I just have to interject this. I know that everybody goes, you know, once in a while, and they buy donuts, and sometimes, if by some
Yes.
ungodly chance, there
Yes.
might be a leftover
Yeah.
donut the next day.
Yeah.
You know,
I knew you were
this
gonna say
would
that.
be a really cool way to make sure that it gets taken care of.
Yes.
Doesn't go to waste.
Of course, in my house, there's nothing that gets left over, but in
My
you know,
house also.
you know,
Especially
but there,
donuts.
it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
All right, so Renee's, well.
Okay, so I'm good. So
you're
this
good?
is
Okay.
all whipped.
So all whipped, ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab a little butter.
Do you add more cinnamon too as you go? You know what I mean? Sometimes if you notice you're using a lot of the
Well, I
cinnamon,
like to keep a whip handy and then just give
add
it
it as if you need more
just
as you go.
re-whip it because the cinnamon on top will.
Right, it floats to the top
Floats to
and
the
it
top.
adheres to the first piece, second piece, and then by the time you get to the sixth piece,
I know.
there's no more cinnamon.
Okay, so now
then you
who's
can
going to
keep.
develop something that's?
There you go.
They need to develop a cinnamon vanilla.
You just dip the
Yeah, so it
Interesting.
incorporates with the eggs and it doesn't.
Oh.
That's good.
dip the apple fritter in, and
my
I always
goodness.
put down the open side first. You hear that sizzle?
Hmm.
And your grill or your skillet, whatever you use, will be sticky because these are coated in sugar.
Oh, are they hard to turn?
Very
No,
decadent.
they're not hard to turn.
Did you spray it?
I put butter.
Okay.
Butter was on
I didn't
there.
see
Just
that.
a
Did
little-
you see that? I didn't
just
even
a
see
little.
that. I was looking at the donuts.
Just a few more calories.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Oh, that looks so good.
Oh,
I never
it's-
would have thought to use.
Oh, I
And
do.
they cook. You don't need to press them down with a weight or anything.
Well, actually, what I no,
a
you
plate or
don't. You don't need to press them down with the weight. I just tap them with a spatula.
okay,
Just tap them with a spatula once they're all down.
okay.
Looking
For
good.
one more here.
Ooh,
Yeah, this is my favorite.
I'm really sorry that you guys don't get to eat this right now, but you know that you can make these at
At
home.
home.
You know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know you guys are going to be running out. Oh, let's go get
go buy some
donuts.
donuts.
This is a great dish for on Christmas morning.
oh,
we do
nice.
This is not only that, but this is a good late night.
Yeah.
I need
Ooh.
something
Anytime.
sweet, you know?
Oh my goodness.
Because sometimes donut shops stay open late,
They do.
you know?
They do.
Yeah?
They sure do. Just give them a little press down. Hear that sizzle?
Oh, that looks nice.
They're
That
almost
smells
done.
really good.
And then you could always add a little more butter.
Yeah. Why
A little more
not?
butter.
On top?
Put a little on
Oh
top
my
so-
goodness.
So when you flip it over, it'll sear up the other side.
Oh my goodness.
This is just what I like to do.
How often
have-
do you eat these, Jimmy?
Oh,
Do you eat these every time.
Well,
That's why you go to the gym, right?
I run every day. That's why I run this for a special at the restaurant. And I always order 30 of them because I know I'm going to eat about 4 of them.
Oh my goodness.
I do.
You missed one here.
Oh, I did miss 2 actually. I do. I always sneak. I always walk by the box and I break a piece off.
They're
before
easy to
and
eat.
it's addicting. Once you start,
Yeah.
you can't stop.
My husband's favorite.
Okay. Renee has a tradition in her family every birthday. Yeah.
Right. We have donuts and candles every morning for every birthday. I have oodles and oodles of pictures because my kids are all old now. Well, not old, but grown.
Out of
so
the
we
house.
have lots of pictures of the kids' birthdays.
But let me tell you what happened. A week ago, I had a birthday, and
Aw,
Jimmy, Susan,
yeah.
and the kids all surprised me with donuts
Yes.
and some flowers and balloons.
Nice.
And by the time I walked into the room, all the donuts were gone. And I said, well, I didn't need to eat a donut anyway. But I had a little piece of something, a little pastry or something.
was good.
But all the donuts
Those were
were just like
Yeah,
that.
we
Okay,
like
so
donuts.
Susan, come over here. Okay. So this is, I know, we've already introduced you.
The one that eats all the donuts.
Are you?
Yeah, you can really tell.
So she's so tiny. So do you like? Does you make these for breakfast sometimes?
No, on it, my kids love them. My kids love them, huh, Michael? But no, I can't.
She can't.
She will.
She used to at one time, but she doesn't anymore.
Tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I used to be,
I
but
have the
now
sweet tooth of the
he's
family.
the sweet tooth of the family. But
Yeah.
no, these are so
but the
good.
kids. This is definitely a
this is-
kid-friendly recipe.
now
And it's so
Christmas
easy.
morning,
They're
New
ready to
Year's
flip.
morning.
Oh, look at
Oh my
those.
gosh.
It looks like regular French
It does
toast.
look like regular bread,
Yeah.
like French,
We have
like
friends
French
that go in
bread.
the restaurant. They called us, said, "Do you have the apple fritter French toast?" And I'm like, "Call the restaurant and find out."
Oh, that
Yeah,
looks
it's so
amazing.
And
good.
you hear the butter sizzling?
Yes.
Yes.
Michael.
It's searing.
Wow, those look really, really good. I never would have thought. Even bread pudding. You can make
Oh.
bread pudding
God,
with
yes.
leftover
Left
donuts
donuts.
and sweet rolls, and
I used to use that.
that's
when I
yummy
made it.
too. That's really sweet though.
It is
That's
sweet.
That's really sweet. Yeah.
And in the restaurant when I serve this, I top them with apples.
Oh,
Glazed
warm
apples.
cinnamon
Glazed
apples.
apples.
Glazed apples.
Warm
Nice.
cinnamon.
And powdered sugar and a little garnish
caramel
of-
sauce.
Exactly.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
very
good.
good.
Winner, Jimmy.
Okay, this is like a dieter's delight.
Yes.
Not, but look, hey, every
Once
once
in
in
a
a
while.
while, this would be like a really neat thing instead of like a birthday cake or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
To do for your family or something, just as sort of an extra treat. Somebody's having, not so happy or something, need that little extra something,
Something
for the
different.
day,
exactly.
something
To
different
get
or
you that-
something.
you want that sweet tooth
You
any
know,
time
or
of
that
day.
real sweet tooth, middle of the night type craving.
And you don't have to have a griddle like this.
No, you just
No.
use your,
Use
just
anything.
use your regular frying pan,
Yeah.
But this is definitely something. Another thing. Okay, now I have to go another length. How about some toasted almonds?
Yummy.
Oh, yes.
Some slivered toasted
And
almonds or
almonds.
pecans or
And
something.
whipped cream
And
with
And whipped cream.
almonds.
Oh, she got it.
And drizzle with the caramel
Oh,
sauce.
drizzle with the caramel sauce.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is
These are ready to go.
Oh my
beautiful.
God.
Jimmy, the sugar is caramelizing on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Oh, look how
beautiful. But you have to use, if you can't use the butter, then you could use,
You could use spray. The
you could
non-stick
spray, or you could use whatever kind of,
You could actually cut the
or-
calories possibly in half by using egg substitute,
Fat-free milk.
fat-free milk, and use
spray.
some
Yeah.
spray,
Yeah.
or
And-
use some diet butter
That's
or whatever,
exactly.
something like that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you could definitely do it.
But why would you want to?
Yeah.
I know. Why would you want to?
going
If
to
you're
that.
going to
If
do
you're
all
going to do
this,
that,
I know.
go for
Defeats
it.
the purpose.
You're going the whole route.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are diabetics. Hello.
Yeah.
And sometimes but still one piece every once in a while.
Doesn't hurt.
Of course, I
Yeah.
think that this is going to be addicting. Oh,
Can you smell
There you
it?
go.
can you smell
we
it?
don't have
Oh.
to smell.
And you could grab a little cinnamon and put a little on the skillet like that.
Nice.
Okay, sold.
Ready to go.
There you go.
All right.
Yay.
Bravo.
I
Okay,
think I will taste this.
we're done with this. Next up, we're going to do a cake. Okie dokie. We have run the gamut. We are cooking. I mean, okay, we got one more thing. We want to show it to you, but we were trying to just stuff everything we can because these guys are awesome. You guys are just incredible.
Thank you,
Right
Judy.
back
Really
at
are
you.
just
Right back at you,
totally
Judy.
incredible. And I know
For you.
that when people see these things coming out at them on the TV, they are going to want to make all these good things. Okay, our last thing is their famous cakes. So Jimmy here is going to show you.
I'm going to do that. We make several cakes, but this is a basic cake that you can make at home. We grew up every Sunday with my mother making this cake, so that's why we decided to
Remember,
make
Mom?
this one.
The toasted almonds on the side. Remember the toasted almonds?
So we have
Yes, toasted almonds,
almonds.
Yep.
We have 3 layers of yellow cake. You can use any recipe, any box cake. It doesn't matter. This frosting is basic powdered sugar, cocoa, butter, and milk. Put it in your KitchenAid, whip it up.
Trim
and
it.
and there you go.
Cool.
Then what we're going to have here,
Oh, but look at how cool he made this.
oh,
That is so cool, Jimmy.
you get a
Ingenious.
ingenious. A 2-inch cake pan, flip it upside down, a regular dinner plate, and you're able to swivel it just like the professional
Isn't that
cake
cool?
makes at home.
That really, it makes
really
things
is
so
nice.
much easier.
Yeah.
It really does.
Now, when your cakes bake, sometimes they peak or the sides turn a little dark, crispy brown. Just trim them. Just go around like so. And I just let them fall to the side, not a problem. This one doesn't have too bad of a dome, so I'm not going to trim it. So then you just get a nice amount of chocolate frosting on there. Spread it all around. And notice
You know,
how
mine would
knows
be
what
mine
he's
would be
doing.
sailing across the thing if I did that.
But you notice how I'm using the
motion,
motion
of the
plate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're really going to be struggling with it. And this next layer here, same thing. Put it right on top. It cooks perfectly.
Yeah.
It's flat. If your cakes tend to peak, that means your oven's too high.
Oh, I was going to
Yeah.
ask you
Yes.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to lower your temperature by 25 degrees.
Oh, see?
Okay.
325 is better
Great
actually than
cooking
350,
tip.
isn't it?
Yeah.
325 is better.
325 is
Three
better.
twenty.
That's
It's
what I find,
325.
too.
Even
I
though
think
they
it
say
is.
on the mix is 350,
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
too
high.
high.
It is too high.
And I also found that cake pans that are real dark
Yes.
bake
What makes a difference?
make really dark edged and dark bottomed.
I don't
all
care for
Yeah.
that though. I
Yeah.
don't like the dark.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Especially on
Yeah.
a white cake.
Yeah.
Do you find that chocolate layers cook faster than white layers? Do you
No.
find that? I do.
You
I
do,
I
Renee?
do.
Really?
Yeah, my chocolate bake.
Well, we use a confection oven.
Yeah.
Where
And the
Do
last
you-
layer
that
do you-
makes
here,
a difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
okay.
really does.
Nice.
There, I mean,
Oh my
come
goodness,
on
make it look so
now.
easy.
It basically is. You can't, even if it falls apart, don't worry. You could, I call it Bondo. You could just patch it all up. Really. What you can do, which I'm not going to do today, if you really want, if you're working with a cream cake, you can go around the sides
Fill it, yeah.
and trim it, and you have a perfectly
He
shaped
does.
cake.
His cakes look
So
perfect.
I'm going to just go on the side here. I'm like a contortionist. Get in here.
I know, we're kind of boxing
my
them
arm
in
is
here.
squishy.
We're fine. And then just go all the way around. And just use a back-forth motion.
Now 3 layers. It has to be 3 layers. You couldn't do 2.
You could do 1, 2, or 3. It's up
It
to
has
you.
to be big, huge,
I just
colossal,
like,
delicious.
I like everything big.
Yeah.
Obviously. You could split the layers.
That's why
too.
I'm standing
Yeah, so you
next
could
to
do
him
6
because
layers.
he likes everything big.
Judy!
Judy.
That's not true.
That's not true. But as you notice, I'm still using the motion. It's going around. I'm not moving. Just the cake is.
That's the trick. That's
Yeah.
really
It
really
really
the
is.
trick is the ability to move it
Yeah, it is.
around.
Yeah.
And
Of course, you know, like many years of experience also
Many,
helps, but
many.
you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Very
Exactly.
true.
He does it all the time.
You know.
Exactly. And then just the top. And
Yeah.
just do it on the top. And you always need to make sure you put a nice, people like a lot of frosting on top,
Oh yeah.
especially me. So I always,
So like this cake, you could like add any of your special touches to, which is kind of cool.
you can,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could, between the layers, you can put some Baileys or if it was a chocolate cake, maybe chocolate cream de menthe. Any
You could,
more.
you could add nuts on the side like we do for our chocolate walnut.
Yeah. If my mother likes my Jack Daniels cake that I make,
How do you put the Jack Daniels on?
I actually get the 3 layers. I put a 1/5 of Jack Daniels.
You
in
just
the
you just sprinkle it
Oh,
on the layer.
No, I don't sprinkle. I
Use
pour.
it. Oh.
Oh.
And it's so, she loves it. And then I have
Wow.
melted chocolate, white milk,
Make it-
and dark chocolate mixed together and just makes a hard
Oh
candy.
my
Ganache.
goodness.
Yeah, he doesn't make it though too often.
No, I don't. It's just for the holidays. It's
Yeah.
a good one for the holidays. So the cake goes all the way around.
I really
I'm
like
sliding
it.
a little here. And then you just bring it back to you
Oh, that's
like
fabulous.
this. And this is a Rosine's signature on top. She showed me this one The first time I baked a cake.
What's that?
Just go all the way around
Yeah.
and just do a little wave.
Yeah.
Oh, see how do you do that? I didn't know how to do
I
that.
used to do that.
This
not
is what we
anymore.
had every Sunday growing up.
We did with almonds toasted on the side, Mom.
Just like that.
Remember?
And that's it.
Remember?
Finished cake.
Oh, that's
That's
fabulous. That's fabulous.
This
Thank
is a
you.
yellow fudge.
Thank you.
It's delicious.
Okay, we're going to set up the buffet. We're going to gather the family, and we're going to be eating.
Yay.
Hi, and welcome back. Can you believe it? This is a brunch. This is a rosy brunch.
Rosy brunch.
This is
I
a
love it.
rosy brunch to make you smile.
Yeah, I'm smiling.
Okay? I want to thank everybody here. Everybody. This is the whole family. And
Oh, you're welcome.
everybody
Thank you,
puts
Judy.
all
Thank
of
you.
their effort into making this show today and all their heart and sharing it with all of you. But before we go through and tell you who everybody is, let's just go through what we created today. The first thing is over here. Remember we were talking about the pasta? This is the
Castroville, chicken
Castroville,
chicken
okay.
Castroville.
We added the pasta to it. We sprinkled a little bit of, let's see, what do we got? We got some bacon bits and some green onions and a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Right.
Okay, delicious. Over here we have our
Chili egg puff.
chili egg puff and the salsa hollandaise sauce that goes with it. In the front, as you can see, there's Renee's beautiful salmon and crude. And you can see we sliced it for you. You can see how that beautiful piece of salmon has been cooked in there. And it's sitting inside of that beautiful piece of puff pastry. And here we have our beautiful, and I know, because the problem is that we made these the very first thing, and everybody's been waiting to eat them, and they're still waiting to eat them. And Jimmy, those are your,
Breakfast potato skins.
and they are looking
Yummy.
good. And of course, this is your
Apple fritter French
apple
toast.
fritter French toast, and
The yellow fudge.
the yellow fudge cake, Rosine's traditional yellow fudge. Okay, so I just want to say thank you, and thank you for sponsoring all this beautiful food, and thank you the public for watching Cooking for All Seasons. You can. I want to ask Susan now to, if you want to get in touch with anybody at Rosine's, they would.
Our website is www.rosinesmonterey.com, and our address is 434 Alvarado Street, downtown Monterey.
Cool. And mine is, okay, now www.cookingforallseasons.com. And that's how you can get a hold of me. Or you can go on cookingforallseasons@yahoo.com if you want to send me an email. But all these recipes will be available for you. And thank you once again. Thank you.
Oh,
you.
Thank you all.
Thank
you all. And thank you, and always thank you to my crew. And also I have to thank my wonderful husband who supports me
Yes.
and everything that I do, and I totally appreciate and love him tremendously. But thank you to the public, and thank you all. And let's eat.
Yay!
I mean, he does these outtakes,
Our little
and then he
bloopers?
does bloopers all over the place.
Oh, those are
So
cute.
don't be
Oh, that's
surprised.
cute. I like that.
Okay.
Lawrence, make sure we get a outtake
Oh, what? Yeah.
What's that?
and an outtake.
Well, he's already, the problem is he has a clapper, so.
No,
he's in it.
over there.
Oh, those guys?
Yeah,
Well, before they doze off?
yeah. Wait, I put my lipstick.
You gonna do a lipstick? You're just doing this for my benefit, aren't you? What a sweetheart, isn't she? Okay. We need to say something official like quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set. Makeup.
Okay. She has spoken.
So bizarre.
Ready?
Yeah.
Quiet on the set.
Happy Judy.
Okay. Aha. Look what I found. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That was good. That was good.
Quality
We don't
control.
need these anymore, do we? We're not